It's possible that your finger is just above the screen, ready to swipe away. If it is, I want you to know that urge isn't really yours. That's the part of you that is still stuck in the past, and it's scared of what you're about to find out. It knows that its hold on you will loosen if you stay. So, what if today is the day you stop listening to it? Take a moment to listen. It could be the start of a big change in your life. Your mind has been making the same pictures over and over. When you close your eyes, you feel the emotions and picture yourself in the future, but the present stays the same. Or maybe it moves for a short time. You get a quick glimpse, a small change, or a small validation, and then you're stuck in the same cycle with the same thoughts and situations. If you've ever wondered why your inner vision seems so strong but doesn't come true, here it is. Visualizations by themselves don't make your reality. The quantum entanglement you have does. There is a big difference between daydreaming about tomorrow and making a quantum link to it, between picturing the life you want to live and becoming the person who is already living that life in a parallel reality. The visualization process is just one part of a much bigger puzzle. The real key, the missing piece, is in how strong and pure your entanglement is. And no matter how clearly you can see the reality you want to experience, it will always be out of reach as long as your state of being doesn't match it. You've learned to ask, believe, and accept. But this is what's really going on. It's not possible for the quantum field to hear, please. Connectivity, honesty, and the true version of yourself that you show are what make it respond. The self you live through in your breathing, the choices you make every day, and your emotions, not the self you show when you meditate. Because what you say doesn't matter to the universe. It's reading the real world you live in. If this idea strikes a chord with you, say so in the comments with the word connected. You can choose to do this, and it will show yourself and the quantum field that you are no longer pleading, but instead are nurturing your connection. Indeed, that is the main idea. And once you understand this idea and understand how strong this connection really is, things start to change. It wasn't because you worked harder or thought more positively. It was because you stopped trying. You gave up pleading. You stopped giving people more reasons to think that your ideal life was far away. Instead, you started to see it as a reality that you could connect with right away. This link, the one that lets you live the life you've been dreaming of, isn't just an idea. It's not unclear. There is a real quantum link there, and it has a unique quality, unwavering confidence and a steady flow. It moves slowly. It doesn't want anything. The timing is not a question. It just knows. When you think like someone who is already caught up in their own desires, the quantum field reacts in the same way because it has no other choice. That being said, why does this change feel so hard? Why is it so easy for you to picture something wonderful, but so hard for you to hold on to the feeling that it's already yours? Because everything that has happened to you has made you attached to the idea of someday. Wait, work on being worthy and get ready to earn your place. That's what you've been taught. Now maybe for the first time you're being asked to let go of all that programming and just become the person who was only a dream before. At first it feels weird. It feels like you're lying to yourself. But that's just because your nervous system isn't used to this new strong connection yet. You are already connected to this reality. So it doesn't feel strange. It's just new to the way your body feels. As part of this process, you train your body to understand what your spirit has always known. You're not going after your destiny. You're getting more and more involved with it. But how do I keep that connection when my outside world hasn't changed yet? You may be asking, the answer is here. You are the one who starts the connection. You choose to let your inner state guide you and let physical proof follow. When you shift your focus from what is missing to what is present in the quantum field, you shift your attention from what you want to who you are in that other life. Once you do this every day, you start to feel a different way about yourself, one that holds up well under pressure, one that stays strong even when life gets tough. It changes into your new normal. The quantum field then starts to move toward you, not because you asked for it, but because you were finally tied to it in a way that couldn't be broken. Let me make something very important clear right now. The quantum field doesn't care what you want. It's a reflection of the reality you are most deeply connected to. It does not look at your vision boards. It doesn't look at your goals or count the good things you say. It just shows what kind of state of being you're in. That way of being doesn't come from your goals either. It comes from how you feel about yourself, the identity you live through, not the one you talk about, the one that changes how you walk into rooms, deal with quiet times, and act when no one is looking. Because reality isn't something you get in the quantum world. It's something you connect with on a deep level. In real life, what does this look like? This means that if you imagine having a lot of money, but are afraid of spending it, your main problem is anxiety. If you want love but resist praise or don't want to be close, your main problem is withdrawal. If you want to grow but talk about your situation as if you're stuck, that story of being stuck will be your main connection. Because the field doesn't look at your goals. It measures the connection that you use the most. This explains why a lot of people are let down on their path to manifestation. They're doing everything that was suggested, meditating, writing in journals, making vision boards, and visualizing, but they still can't seem to get results. Why? Because they aren't in sync with their feelings and thoughts. They're trying to manifest through their thoughts, while their body is still filled with fear, inadequacy, or survival anxiety. The result is a connection that doesn't make sense. And the quantum field shows how confused that is. This is where transformation takes place. When the way you think, feel, and act strengthens the same quantum link, the field must reflect that unity back to you. This is called coherence. When you're in this state, your entanglement is strong, steady, and magnetic. At that point, reality starts to change. Think about this point of view. Wanting something without having a corresponding identity makes chaos. But your connection is clear when your identity and your wants come together. It's not about wanting that the field responds. It's about knowing. In the comments, write "I know" to show that you are ready to move from wanting to knowing. Think about how sure those words make you as you type them. This is not a wish. It's an acceptance of a fact that you are now choosing to align with. So, how do we live out what we know? Especially when we don't have outside validation. You create the validation from within, not from the outside. You start to present yourself as the version of yourself that is already involved with the reality you've been picturing. You stop waiting to feel accomplished and start acting, talking, and walking like you already are. Not because you're acting, but because you're remembering who you really are when things are uncertain. This is what Neville Goddard called living from the wish fulfilled. Joe Dispenza says it's like making new neural pathways in your body and mind. It's called heart-brain coherence by Greg Braden. But the main idea stays the same. Stop trying to become that person and start being that person. We're looking into quantum entanglement like that. It's not something you go after. You choose to hold on to this connection over and over again until your nervous system adapts. Your inner dialogue stops sabotaging it, and it becomes so natural that you can't remember what it was like to be stuck in limitation. Yes, you have to be brave, because stepping into that version of yourself before the outside world sees it can feel lonely, confusing, and even fake at first. In reality, though, that's just your old identity trying to stay as your main connection. Let it be there. Pay attention to it, but don't let it run your life. Now you are the anchor. You become the one to look at. You stop waiting for change to happen and start making it happen yourself. You become what is real. This isn't about making people feel confident. It's about getting to the place where you already are and working from there. It's about training your body to feel safe in the realm of fulfillment, because your connection gets stronger when your subconscious feels safe. The field responds when your connection gets stronger. Let go of the way you've been struggling, pushing, and cycling. You're not here to make your dreams come true. You're here to see that the version of yourself that is already living them isn't far away. There is a parallel reality that is more stable and real, and that version of you already knows how to move, talk, make decisions, and feel like it's finished because it seems that way to them. Let's go find them. Now we're getting to the idea that most people get wrong. Embodying as if is where real change happens. People have gotten these 3 words wrong, oversimplified them, and even made fun of them, because on the surface they look like acting, forcing, or putting on a mask and hoping that everyone likes it. To be honest though, embodying as if isn't acting. Entanglement conditioning is what it is. You can align your body with your desired reality before the world gives you permission to do so. When you embody as if it's already yours, you're not waiting for proof. You are making the proof inside of yourself. In this way, you send the quantum field a clear, consistent message. I'm ready. This is linked to me. Bring it back. This isn't easy because the things around you might still remind you of the old you. Your finances may still show that you need help. Your relationships may still be based on old ways of doing things. Still, you're being told to work from the new connection, no matter what. Why? That's how energy changes into matter, not by waiting, but by becoming something else. So, how do you put this into practice? Start out modestly. You don't have to change everything about your life. You need to change how you navigate it, how you talk about yourself, how you move your body, how you act when something great happens. Do you fully accept it, or have doubts about its truth? Every single one of these small things tells the field what reality you think you're in. How would you start the next day if you were already living your best life? What would you wear if no one could see you? How would you breathe, eat, move, and talk? This isn't about how you look. It's about how energetic you are. Do you still want to lower your energy in some places? Would you still say sorry for being honest? If you wanted to keep the peace, would you still ignore your inner voice? You could also start picking like someone who has a lot of faith in themselves, like someone who doesn't need to get the thing because they already have it. You see, when you change your main connection, everything that is linked to you starts to change too. That's what some people call this quantum change. Because the choices you make, no matter how small they seem, are like threads that strengthen the link to that other reality, making a bond that can't be broken. When you ask, when will this manifest? You should ask, how would I move today if I knew it already had? Your actions will no longer be reactions at this point. They will now be magnetic. You are no longer trying to draw something to you when your words, energy, and presence start to match the reality you've been picturing. You're just becoming the version of yourself that already fits in with it. But here's what most people don't know about this process of embodiment. It is not about being perfect. It's about not giving up. For years or even decades, the same programs have been running in your nervous system. It's used to being limited, accustomed to struggling, and used to feeling like not enough. That's why your body might fight you at first when you try to strengthen a new quantum link. Failure is not this. This is called recalibration. It's kind of like tuning a radio. When you're between stations, static is what you hear. The static is not proof that the clear station does not exist. It shows that you're on your way to finding it. Your journey of getting entangled works the same way. It's all part of the tuning process. Those times when you doubt yourself, when old patterns come back to you, and when you catch yourself thinking about lack. This is what I call entanglement anchoring that holds the key. You have a choice point every time you notice that you're using the old connection. You don't judge yourself or get angry. Instead, you just change the subject. You ask yourself, what would the part of me that is already living this think right now? How do you think they would feel? What were they going to do next? Then you decide, even if it's only for 5 minutes, because this trains your neural pathways to default to the new connection. These small redirections are very powerful. Neuroscience tells us that our brains are always changing how they work based on the things we think and do over and over again. When you choose the elevated response over the conditioned one, your brain literally builds new networks that support the reality you want. But there's another part of this that has to do with quantum physics. When you consistently think and act in ways that support the reality you want, you're not only changing your brain, you're also strengthening your link to a different reality. An incredibly strong electromagnetic field is made by your heart. When your heart and brain are in sync, when your feelings and higher-level thoughts are in sync, this field becomes a very strong anchor for your entanglement. If you're in a state of heart coherence, the HeartMath Institute has found that you can change the quantum field around you. A coherent emitter is what you turn into. In other words, you're not just picturing what you want. Your whole being is sending out an unbreakable link to those things. What's really cool is that you'll see the field start to respond. Different people treat you in different ways. New ideas come to light. It's not that the universe picked you out of the blue. It's just that your connection got strong enough to cut through the noise. You stopped sending energy to eventually and began focusing on currently. We call this coherence. This is how manifestation really works. Not by begging, writing affirmations, or working harder. By becoming the anchor for the reality your future self already lives in. And the mind will definitely try to get in the way. But we don't have that yet, it will say. It'll ask, aren't you worried that you're being too presumptuous? That's not the truth. That's the hold that your history is trying to keep. Let it talk, and then move forward. Because this isn't about persuading other people. You have to train your whole body to accept what your soul already knows. Make one statement today like, it's already done. Pick one thing like you're already there. Do one thing like it's already yours. Because the field is more open to that connection, the more you act like the person who is connected to that reality. When the field agrees, your physical world changes to match. Sometimes on your journey, it seems like time has stopped. The inner work is done. Your energy is now stable. You're no longer chasing. Still, it looks like nothing major changes. But somewhere inside, you feel like something has shifted. Your mind is less busy. It makes your nervous system feel safer. Small changes start to show up in the way you deal with life. Then it happens. A number shows up and keeps showing up on its own. There are 3 numbers that seem to follow you around in time, space, screens, clocks, and receipts. It's 777. You might notice it, but think it was just a coincidence. On the other hand, the more sensitive part of you knows it's not random. In a way, it's a message, a gentle awakening, and an energetic reflection. You weren't looking for a sign, which is exactly why it showed up. There is no need to be desperate, because the field only responds to connection, and 777 will only show up if your entanglement is strong enough for the quantum realm to talk back. It's not saying that your manifestation is coming soon. It's letting you know that your energy now matches what is already yours in a different world, that the connection you made, sometimes on purpose and sometimes just by being there, is now strong enough to be reflected back to you. In mystical teachings, the number 7 is very important. It has to do with divine wisdom, inner knowledge, and intuitive knowing. When it shows up 3 times, it's not just a coincidence. Instead of a sign of perfection, it becomes an energetic signature of harmony. It means that your feelings, actions, and thoughts are no longer at odds with each other. You are no longer trying to make something happen from a body that doesn't think it deserves it. Your mind is no longer picturing things while your heart sends out signals of doubt. Even though it's not perfect, you've reached harmony enough to change your schedule. In quantum theory, the number 777 shows up when the wave of possibility is about to collapse. You're still in the field of infinite possibility, but your focused connection is pulling reality toward one specific manifestation, the one you've been working on by being emotionally stable and changing yourself. The field has seen that you are connected not through language, but through how you are. This number is not a prize either. It's an echo. It doesn't seem to give you anything, but rather reflect what you're already linked to. Please let us know in the comments if you've seen these signs or if you feel a sense of harmony building inside you. By writing it down, you confirm the link and let the universe know that you are seeing the beautiful message it is sending you. Now I'll share something with you about these synchronistic numbers that might surprise you. They're not just random events or coincidences. In fact, they show what quantum physicists call non-local correlation. You are now so in tune with your desired reality that your consciousness is actually entangled with the quantum information that goes with it. That number turns into a bridge, a real sign of the invisible link between what you're going through now and what you're becoming. It gets even more interesting after this. The number 777 often shows up at what I call reality convergence points, which are times when different timelines or possibilities are coming together. We know that all possible realities exist at the same time in quantum mechanics. This is called the many worlds interpretation. When you see the number 777, you're getting close to a point where your consciousness will fully merge with the timeline that matches your sustained entanglement. This is why the time right after these synchronicities is so important. A lot of people see the warning signs, and then without realizing it become less alert. They think that seeing the number 777 means they don't have to do the inner work anymore. In reality, though, it's a call to sharpen your focus. You've reached the edge. The wave is about to collapse. At this point, your promise to keep the connection strong is more important than ever. According to classical physics, particles should not be able to get past energy barriers, but they can in quantum physics. This is called quantum tunneling. You are consciousness tunneling. When you see the number 777, your awareness is breaking through the wall that separates your present reality from the one you want. It's important to keep your vibrational state steady while this tunneling happens. During this phase, you may feel what seems like resistance from the outside world. Patterns from the past may get stronger before they go away. Unexpected problems could come up. The universe is not putting you to the test. It's the structure of the old reality changing to fit the new reality you're merging with. Making changes to your home while you're still living there is like that. For now, there is chaos, but it's for the good of the change. And this is where most people miss how important it is. They see 777 as permission to take it easy, back off, and say it's taken care of now. But now is not the time to take a step back. It has to do with getting more grounded. It leads somewhere, and it's not your job to start celebrating too soon or become passive again. It is your job to keep the connection going. Don't change the flow. Let the field keep synchronizing with you without stopping it. People have told you that manifestations happen quickly, but in the quantum realm, nothing happens right away. What seems immediate in the real world was built up over time in the unseen world. The number 777 stands for the point where things start to change. It represents the fine line between intention and certainty, the place where reality stops moving toward you. It's crystallizing around you. Still, 777 is more than just a sign that everything is in order. It's also a call to be more present, to stop seeking and start embodying, to pay attention to how your body feels right now and ask yourself, is this how the version of me who lives that reality would feel? Would they hurry? Would they ask? Or would they trust the foundation that was being built below the ground? Because that's what this is, a foundational change. You're not bringing about a result. You're changing the most fundamental parts of who you are, what you choose to think, feel, move, and say. It is that identity that is making the field react. And the number doesn't tell us what will happen. It confirms that the connection is still strong. And if you feel that way, not just in your mind, but also in your body, if something inside you knows that this message is right on time, true and authentic, then take a deep breath and let your body take it in. Allow this to make your nervous system feel safe. Let the thought that you're no longer becoming aligned enter your heart. You're already there, that the change isn't coming, it's stabilizing, that what you've imagined isn't just a dream that you can make come true. You finally got to this reality through a stable quantum connection. Share a comment below with 777 if you want that resonance to be felt not only in your own field, but also in the field of everyone who reads this. I say it because it's a statement and a gentle way to say I sense it, not because it's magical. I remember I am linked. Numbers are sometimes just numbers, but sometimes they're a way to communicate, a way to think, a formula, or a truth you're finally ready to live by. You become a beacon when you live this truth. If this transmission has opened your eyes to something, you might want to share it with someone you think would benefit from it. An act of energetic expansion is sharing. It turns on the energy you just got and sends a ripple out into the quantum field, linking you with other souls who are on the same path, who are thinking like you. You may not have been told this, but manifestation isn't the skill of getting what you want. It's the ability to remember who you really are. And every reality you've been trying to reach, happiness, peace, purpose, connection, already exists as a version of you that you are naturally linked to. It's not something outside of you that you need to earn. There is a quantum link inside you that needs to be stabilized. The truth is that you've already experienced it. You've had times when everything seemed to fall into place, when time stopped and you felt completely calm for no apparent reason. Moments when your heart just opened up, when the right words came out, when the choice you made felt like it came from a deeper place. Those events were not random. These were glimpses of the self you're becoming more and more connected to, and the life that self naturally creates. It's not possible to make those moments happen more often with quantum manifestation. It's about getting better at staying in those states, making them your baseline, so you don't have to imagine anymore, because you're already experiencing what you saw in your mind. Your life will change, but it won't happen right away. But you'll know it when you notice the small ways that life starts to respond. A conversation that seems to be going very well. Having peace inside while the world around you is chaotic. A choice that wasn't made after a lot of thought. These signs show that your primary entanglement is stabilizing and that you're no longer reaching out to the field. You've become one with it, merged with it, and are building a connection with it that doesn't involve your past. This is important because the old self will still talk. You're not ready, it will say. What do you think you are? First, you need proof. It will make you want to go back to your past. And every time you see it, you'll have to make a choice. Do I tell the old story all over again? Or do I hold on to the new link for one more second? Understanding how identity shifts work at this point is very important. Your identity is more than just the things you think about yourself. It's an energetic structure that holds on to a certain reality. When you have been living with a limited identity for a long time, your whole body has become oriented around that connection. Everything in your body, your nervous system, your endocrine system, and your immune system was set up to support the old you. So when you start to embody a new identity, your body might fight you at first. Some people have upper limit problems, which means that success or positive change makes them feel bad because it doesn't match their historical set point. In fact, this is a good sign. It means you're getting out of your comfort zone and making new connections in your brain. The most important thing to remember, though, is that you don't have to wait for your body to get used to your new identity. In fact, you might never change if you wait for comfort. You learn to be okay with being uncomfortable instead. You know that the short-term discomfort is a sign of growth, that your nervous system is getting upgraded to support a stronger, higher connection. This process can go faster with a technique I call identity bridging. You don't try to jump from your current identity to the one you want all at once. Instead, you create intermediate identities that can help you get there. For instance, if you're having money problems right now, but want to embody abundance, you might start by connecting with the identity of someone who is learning to receive abundance, or who is becoming more financially aware. This gives your nervous system time to gradually get used to the change. There are different voices in each bridge that think, feel, and act in different ways. You use these stepping stone identities over and over again until they feel natural. After that, you go to the next one. This keeps your system from being shocked, which can make you self-sabotage and makes the change feel more natural and lasting. Please honor your journey by leaving a comment with the word becoming. If you agree to this gentle path of change, recognizing that you are still transforming and growing, this bridges the gap between the person you have been and the beautiful person you are meant to be. What's interesting about this process is that it works just like quantum particles do. Things don't move in a straight line from one energy state to another in quantum mechanics. They take quantum leaps through virtual states that are in between and only last for a short time. This is also how your consciousness transforms. You go through different identity states that help you bridge who you were and who you're becoming. That's where your real power is now. It's not about how hard you push or how fast you move, but about how long you can stay in the energy of already mine. Not to please anyone or trick the field, but because that's who you really are right now. There's no need for confirmations. You're becoming one. You're not doing anything worthy. You are living it. And the universe doesn't need to be persuaded. It only reflects. This is what it really means to manifest. Not to make the world do what you want, but to align your inner state so perfectly with what you desire that it perfectly reflects you. Not because you're in control of matter, but because you've let go of the resistance. You made your connection clear. There is no longer any static between your highest self and what you are experiencing now. And when that happens, something beautiful occurs. Peace. Not excitement or a sense of urgency, but peace. Because you know you're not chasing anything anymore. You are allowing, receiving, and seeing your own energy come back to you in the form of connections, opportunities, insights, and grace. Most people don't realize that this state of peace is a powerful way to accelerate the manifestation process. Brain waves naturally shift into what neuroscientists call the alpha-theta bridge when you're in this calm state. This is a frequency range where your conscious and subconscious minds start to work together. Your subconscious mind is very open to new programming at this point, and your conscious mind is more in touch with the subtle reality of your quantum entanglement. But peace isn't passive. It takes a lot of inner strength to be in an active state of allowing. Learning to manifest from a place of peace may seem counterintuitive in a culture that values hustle over harmony. We've been taught to think that we need to push, strive, and force things to happen. However, quantum manifestation works in a very different way. It's like tending a garden. You plant the seeds, create the right conditions, and then let nature do its work. You don't have to dig up the seeds every day to see how they're doing. You don't try to make them grow faster. You trust in the process and maintain the conditions that support growth. It works the same way for manifestation. You plant the energetic seed with your thoughts and feelings. Maintain the connection alive with who you are and what you do, and then allow the quantum field to orchestrate the how. In this state of surrender, miracles happen naturally. When you let go of tight grip on outcomes and stop desperately trying to control when and how things happen, you make room for the universe to deliver in ways that surpass your wildest dreams. Sometimes what actually manifests is even better than what you had imagined because you weren't limiting how you thought things should unfold. If you're ready to let go of control and step into the power of surrender, please let us know by leaving a comment below. I surrender. These words should remind you that you are ready for something even better than you planned, and your trust in the flow of life. This is a beautiful paradox. The less you need your manifestation to arrive, the faster it comes. It's not because the universe is teasing you. That's because feeling needy means you don't have enough, which goes against the reality you're trying to connect with. If you can hold your desire lightly with gratitude instead of desperation, you embody the feeling of already having it. There is no bigger transformation than this one, and the more you return to it, your nervous system learns that this is a safe place to be, not just to visit this state, but to live in it, to make this entangled state your natural state, not because everything is perfect, but because your sense of coherence doesn't depend on what's going on around you anymore. You're now part of the field. It trusts you because you've taught it to. Really take a deep breath right now. Allow yourself to take it all in. Let it become part of your system, not as new information, but as knowledge you already have. Feel your energy settle into the knowing that you've already changed. You're not preparing for the quantum shift. You are the shift in motion.